Okay, now third graders, my favorite part of the year, or at least my favorite thing to do on the last day of the year, is to have our last class meeting. Unfortunately, we won't be able to do that today, but I wanted to go through and do my part of the class meeting that I always enjoy the most, which is my shout outs, my compliments. So let's go ahead and get started. First thing I want you to do here in a couple seconds after I'm done with my first compliment is to pause the video and then go and give your mom, dad, grandpa, grandma, whoever's been there helping you out through these last 2 months with school at home, go give them a really big hug. Because my first shout out is to your parents, grandparents, older siblings, whoever it is that's been helping you out. They are not your teacher, but yet they, in the last couple months, have stepped up and helped to make sure that your education is still going on. So pause the video for a second, go give them a hug. If they're not home right now, when they get home, make sure to give them a big hug because they deserve a big shout out for helping you to continue to learn while you've been at home. And then I'm just going to run down the list because I have compliments for everybody. So I'm going to start with Hayden. Hayden, you are amazing at math. I've been really impressed with the growth that you've made in reading too. Keep reading this summer. I would really, really like to see it where your reading can get up there with your math because you are lights out when it comes to math. And I want to see the same thing for you with reading. Riddell, shout out to you for the energy and excitement that you bring every day. I was always so impressed with how enthusiastic you were for whatever it was we were doing in class. Even as we've continued doing this stuff at home, I've seen that enthusiasm in the times that I've worked with you and the work that you've submitted and the pictures that you've submitted, that you still have that enthusiasm. I love it. Keep it up. Wyatt, shout out for your ginormous, amazing, big brain. You are able to comprehend things quickly and to really understand them. And that is an impressive skill to have. In being so advanced and so bright, you're also super kind and compassionate to others, which is another great trait to have. So thank you for always showing compassion and for always giving your best. Macy, shout out to you. I know the start of the year was not super easy for you. The transition back to school was a little rough, but once you got that under your belt, you really started rolling. I never had to worry about whether you were going to give your best or if you understood what was going on. You are such a hard worker and always wanting to know more. I really enjoyed having you in class. I hope you have a good summer. Shout out to Declan. Declan, you were a machine, methodical every day. Came in, what's on the board, get started with your work. Boom, 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 get it done. Setting a great example for the rest of the kids around you because you were a real role model in class. There are a lot of kids in our class who look up to you and see you as a good example of how they should be as a student, and you lead by example. Thank you for that. Dominic, shout out to you for always being happy and kind and just a great kid to be around in class. You've got all the essentials of what it takes to be a good student. You work hard, you understand stuff, but on top of that, you are super duper kind to everyone in class. I don't think I ever saw you have a bad day or say one negative thing to anybody in class. You are by far one of the kindest students I've had the chance to be around. Keep it up. I hope that doesn't change. Willow, wow. Where you are right now from where you were at the start of the year, such a huge improvement. I think the biggest difference for you has been your confidence. At the start of the year, you did not have much confidence. You didn't believe in yourself. I have seen that continue to increase and see that you can now believe in yourself and know that you can do things that you didn't think you could do before. So impressed. You have a really bright future as long as you keep working and keep picking up on those things that you were struggling with and keep believing in yourself. Lydia, at the beginning of the year, I was a little nervous with some of the things I was seeing with you in math, but you have quickly picked up that this year. Your math ability has gone through the roof, but even better than that, at the beginning of the year, really kind of shy and didn't say much and kind of held back. And you, as the year went on, really started sharing with the group and being more involved with the group. And I hope to see that continue. You have a lot of great things to offer. You have a lot of insight, and you are a cool kid who I think other kids in class have some things to learn from. So keep speaking up in class, keep being a part of the class, keep working on those math skills. Same thing as I've said to a lot of the other kids, you are super kind. Never once saw you cross with anybody in class. You are a good friend and a good classmate, and I really enjoyed having you in class. James, I think my favorite thing of you is your wit and your sense of humor. Again, math, super strong in math. Your reading was really starting to improve as well. Keep reading over the summer, but there were always little things that you would say to me, or when a situation came up that you would say, that were just so silly and right on point and brought a lot of smiles to me. You have a really big heart, and you are a kind and caring kid, and I really enjoyed having you in class. Garrett, you have been a super great friend. I liked the most that you never were afraid of anything in class, didn't have any doubts. You worked really, really hard. You liked to be with your friends after you got your hard work done and have fun with them. I've enjoyed watching your friendship with Leland. You guys are obviously best buds, and it shows that you care for each other and take care of each other. But I also like to see that you spread out from there too this year and had a lot of good friendships with some of the other kids in our class. I enjoyed having you in class. It was a great, though short year, and I see nothing but bright things for you in your future. Corbin, what can I say? You were Mr. Dependable. Never ever had to question you about what you were doing with your time or whether you were trying to do what you should be doing in class. Your name was rarely ever on the board because you got your things done and turned in, and the work that you turned in was always quality work. Again, another great friend in our class. I liked seeing you and your friends working together in class, but then also having fun out on recess when I saw you guys out on recess. So thank you for being so dependable. Thank you for all your hard work. I appreciate it. Jeremiah, what I liked the most about you this year, as the year went on, you started advocating for yourself more and more, meaning that you were, when you weren't understanding things, you were asking questions instead of just rushing through and trying to guess what you needed to do. That's a hard thing for some kids to learn to do, that if they're struggling with something, that it's not just okay to ask for help, but it's the right thing to do. So often kids don't see that even parents and adults ask for help when they need it. So when you learn to do that at a young age, and I think doing that, we started to see some real growth. I am excited for where you're headed. I can't wait to see, with this continued improvement, where you're going to get to. You are super nice. I like that you always are being friendly towards the other kids in our class, and I enjoyed working with you this year. Carter, by far my favorite thing, and the thing I want to compliment you most on, Carter, is your work with Reader's Theater. You have a great voice and do really well doing emotional things with that voice when we're doing our Reader's Theater. A lot of times you brought a ton to your groups with Reader's Theater, and your groups were often some of my favorites to listen to because of the performances that you put on. On top of that, great student, intelligent, you got the whole package together. Just make sure that you get started on things right away and work through them. Other than that, great year. excited for your future as well. Lacey, you are a little dynamo. Again, not the loudest kid in the class, not the one looking for the most attention, but getting attention for the work that you're doing, the quality of work that you're doing. I was often blown away with the work that you could do. You, again, had that core group of friends that you guys would work hard and I think sometimes compete against each other, but then also had a lot of fun out at recess. So keep doing what you're doing, Lacey. Maybe speak up a little bit more in class because you do have a lot to share, but you are amazing. Trevor, I loved reading with you this year. I got really excited as you got more confidence with your reading and when you would want to come up and read with me. I know I didn't always have the time because there were times I was doing other things, but I did so much enjoy that you were excited about reading and wanting to share with me your reading. Along with your reading progress across the board in all subject areas. Same thing. I think that you didn't have so much confidence at the beginning of the year, but as the year went on, that confidence started to grow, and we saw improvement with that as the year went on. You're a sweet kid. I like that you always give your best effort, and I can't wait to see what's going to happen for you. Georgia. My biggest compliment for you, Georgia, was with your reading. I really saw that take off this year. We know that you were in some groups with Mrs. Teetsy at the beginning of the year, and by the middle of the year, you were out of that because you were moving and grooving. Same thing with some of the other kids. I like that you are willing to give a good effort in class, but then also like to have fun. Your smile brought a smile to my face every day. You always were cheerful and energetic about the work that we were doing. I appreciate that. You're also really good friends to your friends in class. Keep that up. Leland, thank you for your effort this year. You are another one who has a ton of knowledge. Sometimes that knowledge gets you a little ahead of yourself and you end up kind of getting lost a little bit because you're like, oh yeah, I know what to do, and then tune it out, work on tuning it in all the time. You've got that knowledge. People want to share that knowledge with you. You want to share that knowledge with other people, and the best way to do that is to really make sure you know what's going on. Amazing job with your reading this year. Tons of AR points. Again, loved seeing your friendship with Garrett. You guys were good buddies. I like to see that you worked together and enjoyed being together. But it never got out of control in class. You were able to work together and be partners, and that's pretty special. I also liked how you had some interests in things and you really, really worked at those interests and focused on those interests. Keep that up. Avery, another one, just tons of energy, smiles, excited about what we're learning, wanting to learn more. Great friend to your friends in class, super creative. Not enough good things to say about you. Your work was always done really, really well. And you brought that smile to everything that you did. Keep that up. Don't lose that. Aiden, I was super impressed with how much knowledge you have on all sorts of different subjects. There'd be things we'd be talking about in class and you'd raise your hand and you'd give us some more information about it. You get really, really excited about it. And that was great to see. You have so much of that knowledge to share from your different experiences and things that you've seen. I'm glad that you share that with the class. I would like to see that participation raised up even more as you go forward. Make sure that you are getting to class as much as you can. That's important. I know that when you're there, the things that you could do and the growth that you made this year was really, really great. I also like how kind you are and your friendship with Lydia. It's nice to see you guys have such a strong bond. In general, guys, this was a great year. I'm sad that this year has to come to an end, especially the way that it came to an end with us not being together the last couple months. I know we missed out on some of those fun end of the year things. I really wish that I could have had that time with you guys. You are such a great class. I am so excited for your futures. Keep up the good work. Keep being kind to each other. Stop back at Mr. Millen's room anytime that you want to. Make sure to stop and say hi to me in the hallway when you see me in the hallway. And I hope that you guys have a good summer. Take care.